You've reached call in Mockery.
Loan them the money. If they can make it, they pay us back. If they can't make it, they don't have to pay us back. Loan them the money. Put it as a form of a loan. Why should you just hand it over to them? Do it as a form of a loan. I do that with athletes. They can't quite, like a professional golfer who I think is very good. They don't have any money, but they have a lot of talent. I'll say, here's the deal. I did it with a number of people. Here's the deal. What I want to do. Professional golfer. I play golf. I play very nice. Did you see the picture of me, the horrible picture with the stomach out to here? So what I do is I'm putting up today a picture of me actually, what I actually look like, hitting a ball, smashing the frickin' ball. And you'll see, I wouldn't say slim. But not bad. But the ball does go far. I would say it goes about 9 times further. Then Biden can hit it 9 times.
9 times.
Biden can hit it 9 times.
Thank you, sir. We love having you when you come on the show. You, of course, are the people's president.
Donald Trump Jr.
Yes, Donald Trump Jr. We can't wait for you to run for the first time, sir.
Again, it is unfortunate to point out that he is funny.
He's smashing that friggin' bowl. I kind of have to change my Trump Jr. impression because he's not yelling at you anymore. Hello.
He's lost, and I know everyone ever since Jon Stewart cracked open the can of.
Oh no!
Ever since Jon Stewart said, "Hey, Biden's kind of old."
They said, John, you're looking too. He grows his scruff out, right? Mm-hmm. They darken under his eyes, and he goes on camera and he goes, "We're both old. Our savior is back. Yes, we loved his Apple TV show so much, and now he's back."
Ever since he opened the dam that we make fun of Biden. Now SNL's making fun of Biden. Everyone's making fun of Biden for being an old man. Mm-hmm. They say, and notice there's not much else that anyone's making fun of him about. It's just kind of he's old.
Yeah.
But then you look at that, he's lost his.
He's not doing what it's
a little more. I smashed the hell out of the ball. He can't quite.
Not slim, but slimmer. 9 times.
That is, and he's getting. I don't think he would ever even say that before. Mm-mm. He's getting a little self-deprecating, which is scary. Because that's how a comic really wins an audience over.
Right, and they say he's not that bad. He knows that he's,
Yeah.
And now he's just saying things that usually before it was sort of like, well, he's lying. Right. About an important thing.
Yeah.
Now he's just saying, I hit the ball 9 times farther than Biden can hit it, which is just whatever.
We don't know if that's true. There's no fact check. Yeah. Reuters is not writing
No.
There's no Snopes on that.
There's no Snopes on that. And Snopes, of course, is owned by Big Lib, so we can't even trust them anymore.
We can't even trust Snopes no more. But we do...
How are you feeling about... And you'll never guess what side we're on. How do you feel about Jon Stewart being back? Were you excited when you saw the moment of Zen pop back up?
Well, I did this week when it was about his dog Dipper.
Right.
And he cries. And when Jon Stewart cries, I cry. Because it was very sweet and touching.
I tried to watch his Apple TV show.
Yeah.
And that's when you remember that these people have writers.
Yeah.
Because you go, these writers are not good.
Yeah. I think he found that out. And I think part of the reason he left the Apple TV is because they wouldn't let him talk about certain topics.
Yeah, he didn't want to. I saw an interview. Did you watch that interview with him?
Nope.
He did an interview with a morning show, and he's like, well, they didn't want me to say certain things. And they go, okay. And do remember that we're both owned by Viacom. And he's like, oh, Viacom, or whatever it's called now, Peacock Duplex. And he was making fun of, and they're like, okay.
I love Jon Stewart. I was happy to see him back. Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, the problem is you've got John Oliver.
Yeah.
You've got this stuff, and then what is actually helping?
Yeah.
Nothing, right?
None of it helps. And I think a large contingent of the Democratic Party would say Jon Stewart actually hurt by being this sort of his first show back. I like it. I think he might have the power to move the needle more than John Oliver.
Oh,
because all these guys, he's sort of the granddaddy of them all, as far as actually impacting pop culture. No one's talking about Craig Kilborn.
No.
And they all came from The Daily Show. Colbert came from The Daily Show. Oliver came from Daily Show.
Larry.
the Wilmore guy came from The Daily Show. All this came from The Daily Show.
All these shows on TV, will more or won't more. I can't wait to watch. And Who Shot JR? Oh. Well, this, of course, is Colin Mockery.
Yeah.
We got in trouble last week because we were being a little too political, but we will have a song out about that'll clear all that up for everyone soon.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. But we promise, after last week's very politically charged episode, we wouldn't do that again this week.
No, this is all fun and games.
So,
like usual.
Yeah.
We're going to take some calls. We haven't got any calls this week, I think, because the phone line has the issue where if 10 or more people are trying to call at once.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting through, just keep trying. 319-DUB-MIT. Yeah, so we got our sponsor to give us a couple. We were running low, but all you have to do is reach out to Liquid Death.
Yeah.
Say, hey, we're running low on the LD. Yep. Could you sling us a few more, maybe give us some new flavors this week? And they said, we've got the bigger cans. You're going to love this.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are seltzers that are actually
the big
flavored.
one.
Yeah. They're the big can. And so this one says...
Oh, we mixed them up this time. That's okay, though. Maybe I'll try a new one.
Yeah.
Mine is called Unparleavable.
And this is one I think you usually have, but I've actually been a little jealous every time you open it. So this one is, if I'm reading that right. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's kind of like that's funny. It's a convicted melon. Let me try this. You really get the... You really get the melon of this one.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure you can taste the pear.
Absolutely. It's right there at the forefront of your tongue.
Thank you, Liquid Death.
Thank you, Liquid Death.
Go to the website, go to Liquid Death, and click on the microphone in the top corner.
You can probably hear that I lost my voice a little bit over the weekend.
Oh, no.
I was at a big event. Some call it a rally, but I just think it's more of I kind of think of it as a sporting event. Mm-hmm. But and at this event, you know how you go into like an arena or something nowadays, you can't take a weapon into a place like this, right? No knives, guns, bombs.
Yeah, I've heard this bullcrap.
Firecrackers. So we go into the thing, and then there's little tables. They have like posters and free stuff setting out that you can take. And one of them is a suicide prevention hotline. And it's a table, and they're very nice people.
Oh, I thought that was the gift.
No. Well, the gift is prevention.
Yeah.
Because they have little stickers that say,
okay,
this is the number.
So it's
they have
themed. It's a themed table.
Yeah, it's their table.
Yeah.
They're volunteering to get the hotline out, which is great. And then they have these little circles, like this big. Mm-hmm. And so we walk up, and we're like...
And for people that are just listening, he is basically the size of a coaster, let's say.
Yeah. So they had some stuff, your classic posters, stickers.
Love that stuff.
Your classic free, what would you call that? swag.
A swag bag.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Tchotchkes.
And then the lady says, these are pizza cutters. The little circle. And she opened it. And in there was a wheelie, a pizza cutter.
Yeah.
The little circle.
So you just use your hand on the top of it.
Yeah. But then I realized that's
a weapon.
Yeah. And not to be morbid, but this
it's an odd
suicide prevention measure to equip everyone with a little slicing device.
Yeah. So
just odd. Maybe I think maybe they ordered something else and then the company accidentally sent them pizza cutters. They thought they were coasters. Mm-hmm. They thought they were something else. And then, the event comes, you open the box, and it's a whole bunch of weapons used for slicing.
And that's something I've never even seen another company have, is a custom pizza cutter.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
For them to pull that out.
It's crazy. It's so specific and so strange that I simply had to bring it up on this Colin Mockery episode.
And we like to have those numbers and stuff places where people can find.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I can always find when I open the drawer, when I'm in need of help and I need to find something, it's the pizza cutter. I always open the drawer with eight tonsils.
Whoa.
I ain't eating tonsils, though.
Hey,
you got all the tongs in there. You've got a couple older spatulas that we've got the new ones in the spinny thing. You might need this one that's been melted to oblivion, and I can always just spot the pizza cutter. So that's good. That's good to have.
It's always and if it's not in that drawer, you open the drawer underneath it, which does have one of the wooden spoons lodged in such a way that you can only open the door about an inch and a half.
Yeah, it's sort of like a medieval doorstop.
So you try to
get in there, push it down to get the drawer to pull out.
Can't.
Not in there. Okay. Well, when did we last have pizza? Is it in the dishwasher? Check the dishwasher. Mm-hmm. It's not in there.
Yeah.
What the heck? Check around the house. Someone's like, I used it to cut those. We got some of those like quiche things. We got some of those frozen quiche things. You're like, what? I didn't eat. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like little quiche. I'm like, the puff pastries. Yeah, they were stuck together. When did we have those? Last night. So it's dirty, right?
It's just in the sink.
It's just in the sink, and you're like, well, I'm not going to grab that.
No.
So I'll check.
So then you unalive yourself.
You check the big poster you put up, right?
Yeah.
Then you're let me just go to the poster.
Yeah, I'll just check the sticker.
What else did they have? Stickers, pizza cutter, poster,
keychains. I'm pretty sure they had. I think a stress ball, which that's a kind of a classic. And I don't see those much anymore. A stress ball with the logo of the thing on it. I wouldn't mind having one of those. Hey, if you're out there, a Liquid Death, maybe send us a couple stress balls while you're at it.
Let's try just shaped like the can, right?
That's funny. Get
one that you can squeeze and maybe it says what would it be? Like unstressed leavable or something.
Yeah, that's good. A perfect pun.
That would be awesome. So
what's up, buddy? What's happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, it's Oscar season, isn't it?
That's actually kind of a good movie.
Now, what have we talked about?
What haven't we talked about? I mean, this is the show where we come on and we talk about just about every dang thing.
But I want people to know that we also
estate sales. Eric Stone Street looking guy.
Yeah.
Dentist visits.
Why are weights so expensive?
Like dumbbells and such? Yeah.
Isn't it just a big old piece of metal?
Yeah.
And they say, we have to measure it. I don't care. It's 5.02. I want the bent and dent sale on the weights.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
If I'm getting a little less than 8 pounds, fine. A little more, great. Make me work for it. But I spend $40 on 2 weights.
Yeah, because it's usually about $1 per pound is what I've noticed.
Huh. What is that? I guess they're made of material. So the company has to pay for the material.
If they're on sale. I think that's more of a sale thing, actually,
Yeah.
now that I think of it. Because I look at the, like a TJ Maxx has their little workout section that's all mostly geared towards women.
Yeah.
And you're over there like, well, I need like 10-pound dumbbells, and they have the best price. And it's usually 10 per 10.
Yeah, 1 per 1. 1 to 1. If we take 10 over 10 and you want to reduce that to its smallest, that's 1 over 1.
But then you want a 25-pounder. You're spending $50 on 2.
Yeah, but you're like, it is in the women's section. You're like, I could really use this like rolly thing for my back when I'm done.
Yeah.
Get some of that stuff worked out. But it's by all this women's stuff. Maybe this hat, it could be unisex, right?
Yeah.
It could be, but they know when I'm buying it. So I just leave.
Yeah, I just leave. Well, usually at TJ Maxx too, the line is somehow backed up.
Yeah,
into
so I
the
just
bathroom.
leave.
Yeah, you just leave no matter what.
5 cashiers. It's it's wrapped around all the stuff. So just get out of there.
Yeah. But it's Oscar season, of course. And
Yeah, so that's why I brought that up. And so we know that I saw Past Lives if you've been keeping up with the saga of watching all the films. I thought there were 9 Best Pictures.
What? How many?
10.
That makes sense.
But that's too many.
Because Maestro.
That was the
Maestro.
one. For some reason, I don't know if I forgot about it,
I think
or I
most
think they're
people
just not
did.
showing it in theaters because Netflix. And
It's a Netflix, yeah.
the theaters are mad at them, right? Marcus Theater, that guy, whatever his name is, Jim Marcus, Greg Marcus.
Yeah.
He's like, I play the piano and I'm kind of fun, but if you try to show Marcus in here, I'll take a pizza cutter and. So he's not letting Maestro be in there. So I'm catching up to the ones I can. Now, did I go see Zone of Interest? Yes.
Yo!
Did I tell the person I wanted two tickets to Zone of Silence? Yes. Did he correct me and say Zone of Interest? And I said, what did I say? Zone of Interest. What? Zone of Silence. What am I thinking of? I was, of course, thinking of the Cone of Silence from Get Smart, the TV show from 60 years ago.
Yeah, Cone of Silence.
I was like, 2 tickets to Cone of Silence, please. And we got in there. It's not what you think it is. Not a funny movie.
You thought you were getting Maxwell Smart with his shoe phone.
Yeah.
And what you really got was...
Adolf Hitler with his...
Rhyme with shoe phone, rime with shoe phone.
I cannot
Please.
rhyme anything with shoe when I'm talking about zone of whatever.
You still don't know it.
No, I don't. Well, because I don't understand what the zone of interest is.
Not very
It was
interesting.
me.
Oh.
I was interested in the movie.
He was.
I was like, the zone of interest is the movie. That's interesting. But then I'm like, that's a
We
problem
should
because
just do
so
a-
many movies could be called that.
Yeah. We should do a movie podcast.
Yeah, we should.
Exclusively. That's good insight.
Let's get a lot of stuff out of that. A lot of stuff you won't hear other places. We actually have some interesting takes on movies, don't
I
we?
think so. I'm about to get to one that's going to make everyone mad.
I think honestly I think honestly just saying the movie is interesting is a different take on it than everyone else that's saying it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Anyways, it's a great film. Not much I can say about it on a comedy show, but one of my favorites of the year. They do some very strange things at some points, but it's so strange that it's in a way where I'm like, I can't hate it. They took such a swing with some of these things.
Oh.
And no spoilers, but you go, I can't even hate it. It's interesting. Do I like some of the swings they took? It's just interesting.
Did they do anything quite as hunky-dunky, wanky-panky as our favorite little comedy man, Taika Waititi, when he made Hitler a funny guy?
Little girl. What's he sound like? I'm actually your best imaginary friend. It wasn't quite like that, I would say, right?
Yeah, and I've never seen it, and I'm sure it's good. I don't know.
I haven't seen it either, and I kept wanting to, and then I just didn't. So
I've heard it's great, and then, of course, the backlash to Taika Waititi has turned everyone against that movie.
yeah, can't
well.
like anything. If there's one thing I've learned about anything is you can't like anything. You can go on the internet And someone posts, my cute dog, right?
Yeah.
And they go, you actually shouldn't own that dog.
That breed was actually...
And they go, well, I adopted it. It was saved from someone else. And they go, well, they shouldn't have done that. And they go, okay, well, I saw someone correct someone on a post the other day. And then multiple other people said, that's wrong. Or no, they said that in the video. And then they're like, people now are just getting mad at stuff before they even know what the thing. It's just nuts out there. It's so negative. So go see Zone of Interest.
A positive film.
Yes, where you can see a German family living next to a concentration camp for 2 hours, just hearing sounds in the background. The guy next to me. Hey!
What? It's interesting.
It's a crazy film.
You at the movie.
I said it was the best film about concentration camps since my own. I said that to them and they were confused. But I said, that's something Steven Spielberg actually said.
Yeah.
And so I was making a point. And they're like,
They
so
punched you.
What's your point? But he's not wrong, folks. He's not wrong. I would see Zone of Interest. You got to go in a theater, I think.
Yeah.
Because it is so quiet and you just need to focus on it and hear what's going on. But if you can watch it at home, do that too.
Oh, okay.
And we left the movie, and then we left the movie in the theater next to us. There was a table set up that was not there before. And two people talking about the
Suicide
movie
prevention.
They were talking about, I don't know.
Wow.
But someone goes, they set up a table and they had tchotchkes on there, pizza cutter, ba-ba-da. They had shirts on that had the name of the movie that I was trying to look, but I was also trying to let them know I don't care. Like I'm not
talking.
I'm not fazed by this. It's like when you see someone filming something out on the street.
Yeah.
Most people go, hey, not a camera. I just pretend like nothing new to me.
Unless it's Billy on the street, then he comes to you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you're like, Paul Rudd. And he's like, yes or no, sandals. And you're like, no. And he's like, wrong answer.
Yep.
And you're trying to say something to Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's trying to be nice, but he's trying to play into the bit. He says, thank you. Billy yells at him.
Yeah.
Then you feel bad.
Don't tell him thank you.
And that's it. That's your whole interaction.
Yeah.
Someone runs up after him,
That's
gets you to
funny as
sign.
hell.
You see, they don't have to blur your face.
Yeah.
So these people are in the hall. They're
Okay.
selling. They're showing a movie there. Something they made.
Oh, so it's not about Zone of Interest.
No, it's the theater next to us. So
Okay,
they're
okay.
showing something. And I'm like, what's going on? All these old people are showing up. All these old people are here. And then one lady goes, what is this? And she's going into it. And they go, we made the film that you're going to see. And she goes, so what are you doing out here? And they're like, we're talking about the film we made. She goes, so what do you have to say? And they go, well, we're just, it was so weird. It was like being in the Twilight Zone. There was someone coming that couldn't get through because they're in a wheelchair. The guy in front of him leaving was limping. Then there were like old people. It was crazy leaving Zone of Interest. You already feel weird because of what you just watched. And it was just...
Come to find out, you were living right next to a different kind of camp.
It was just bananas. So that was awesome.
What was the movie? Well, you don't want to say.
I can't remember. It was
okay.
It was about a family living in the woods.
Oh.
And they built a house or something. Seemed good.
Cool.
Saw Dune finally.
Yeah.
Finally watched Dune. Yeah, I'm loving that stuff. Hard to figure out what's going on exactly because they're on Arrakis and they're Harkonnen, and then there are Reedies and they go to Harkis, and then there's a big guy and he's floating, and then he's in the goo, and you go, he's in the goo, he's in the goo.
It's hard to, because I'm like, I like sci-fi. I'm a sci-fi guy, I'd say. But there is a notch past what I like where some of these movies go that I just don't know. And I think that's been one of my hesitations seeing Dune.
Well, as I said, it's hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
And then I was asked the question, what is hard sci-fi? And I said, you know.
Yeah.
And they go, it's like like a lot of sci-fi. And I go, no, it's not just extra sci-fi. They go, what is hard sci-fi? What does that mean to you? Like, like Warhammer 3000. They go, okay, then what makes that hard sci-fi? I'm like, it just is. It just is. Stop asking me questions.
It's a lot like the Supreme Court's ruling of what pornography is.
I can't explain it to you, but you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah.
And Dune is that. They go, porn? And I say, for some people.
Well, in that case, I'll see it.
I mean, some of this. But yes, I had the same thing where I go, is it? Because I have the book and I just haven't read it yet. Because it's one of those where I go, oh boy, this is taking me down a path that I'm going to have to be. But I like the movie.
Yeah.
It is very sci-fi. And now there's going to be 2 more. But the second one's going to be very exciting. First one's a lot of talking, okay?
Well, there is a second one.
What?
Yeah, it's out right now.
So there's a lot of talking in this one. The next one's a lot of fighting, right?
I don't know.
And then third one's kind of the aftermath.
Yeah.
It's kind of the Lord of the Rings setup, right?
And there are a few books after that. That Denis is not adapting.
No, and no one wants him to.
Yeah.
What I've heard, and I talked to...
Here we go. It's talking to someone again.
No, I'm not even going to say.
No, who?
No, I didn't
Who'd
talk
you
to
talk
anyone.
to? Come on.
You don't want to know.
I do.
Because it sounds like I'm bragging.
No. Who are you talking to?
Talk to my brother.
Oh, great.
And he's read the book.
Books?
More than one.
But not all of them.
Not all of them. Because I think there's the idea that Frank Herbert's son, Brian or whatever, has ruined Dune. Sure. Everyone says, read Frankie. And I think, so the idea is Dune Part 1 is half of the first book.
Gotcha.
Part 2 is going to finish Dune.
The book.
Part 3 is going to be Dune Messiah, the follow-up.
Right.
And then you see what happens to Paul.
Right.
The guy that lives on a different planet 12,000 years from now. His name is Paul.
I know. I'm seeing a lot of... I see people making fun of that, and then I see the reaction to that, which is Paul is a biblical name.
Oh. Can't fight that.
But then I'm like... And I start to agree with them, like, yeah, I guess whatever. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, well, Dune... They don't have the Bible on Arrakis, so what? Well, it's a biblical name.
As this might clear it up for you, as Denis calls him in one of the special features I watched, it says Ebol.
I think that's better.
Yeah, that sounds cooler too. He's like Duncan Idaho and the Ebol are fighting each other, and I thought, wow, this is very crazy. I love it a lot. But
I think maybe
so they come from Earth.
Kill them 9 times further.
The humans come from Earth.
Oh.
So Paul is half human, I believe.
Whoa.
And that's why a guy's name is Duncan Idaho.
I'd like to see his papers.
Because his ancestors, like my ancestors come from Shoehorn. That's why my name is Joey Shoehorn. Uh-huh. They're from Shoehorn, Netherlands. Uh-huh. Many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
Duncan Idaho's people came from Idaho on Earth like 12,000 years ago. So to them, it's this mystical name. It's like having the last name Jaundice or something, So Duncan Idaho is funny though when other people's names are like and then there's Duncan and he's the best fighter in the universe.
Hey, what's Paul's dad's name?
Hey, what did you like? No, it's Retweet. Hey, retweet. We sat on a river. One of them fell in.
Retweet.
His dad's name is Leto.
Whoa.
Like Jared.
Do you think that means anything?
Yeah, it means, come break me down. And his mom's name is like Jessica or something.
So she's the human. He's the...
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
Okay, so that's
because
stupid.
the mom is the one that's like she can make people do. She has the force.
She's
where she's like, give me water.
Yeah,
and then someone gives her water.
That's
and you're
Rebecca
kind
Ferguson.
of figuring like then you just that's Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah.
So you're just sort of having to go like, oh, that exists in that world.
Mm-hmm.
You can't look at the person you're watching that with like, you just go, yeah, they do that. If they say give them the water and they're speaking in 8 different pitches at once, that's something their people do.
Yeah.
Then the Fremens. So there's the humans, but there's other humans, but they're not humans. They look like humans because they're played by actors, right?
Here's
so then
to
the
them.
Fremens, they're the desert people, but I don't think they're humans. Some people's eyes glow blue because of the spice.
Zendaya.
I want some spice. That's the one thing I want from this movie. Spice is the spice of life because it runs their ships, but you can also do it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh,
You can get high on spice.
you get high on spice and you can also put it in your car. It's like sniffing gasoline.
Whoa.
Then there's the spice crawlers. There's all this stuff. People are like, we know. Book came out 40 years ago. Though.
The second movie is out right now. We all saw the first. You guys didn't. You say,
I waited to see a movie from my favorite director.
You two who say your favorite director is a guy's name you can't pronounce. You two haven't seen it. Well, I'm telling you, it for some reason it doesn't. It's kind of like The Matrix. Like I know everyone like sci-fi action. These are things that I love intrinsically. But when I saw The Matrix as a kid, I said, I don't get it.
It crosses a border for you.
And I never want to revisit it because I just don't care.
Have you yet seen Blade Runner 2049? That's awesome.
Yeah, I need to.
Watch that, and that kind of gets you excited for. I mean, because Dune, you're kind of like he's doing. It's he's got his
Dune.
He's got his look. He's doing.
He's doing Denny.
Oh, he's doing Denny. They should have done no. So they're doing Denny, and I'm doing that popcorn bucket, of course, that everyone can't shut up about.
You.
So that's what I did.
It's Oscar week. I watched an Oscar movie that you watched a long time ago, but I finally got around to it. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh,
And
you birdie.
Huh?
That's Leo. You
Yeah.
birdie back there in my car.
Dang.
We get married, yeah. You have all my. I take your money.
I get it. It's
It's
obviously, we can all say this. We don't have to act because Martin Scorsese made it. He's only got a few more left in him. Take every minute he puts on screen. I think anyone could have directed this movie. I don't see how his specific vision made this more or less interesting. It's a compelling, tragic story. I don't know if he is the sole person who could have told this story.
no.
I don't get it. The sort of infatuation with Scorsese being the guy. I know we love him. I think he's a good guy. He seems like a funny, nice person. He's a good filmmaker. Go ahead.
It's just the history of this guy.
Yeah.
That's what people keep. That's all you have to latch onto, right?
Yeah.
Because then they go, well, they made a new one, and it's like when Steven Spielberg does a new movie. It's because it's him and his history making great movies.
I know.
But then it bleeds over into, like you're saying, this is a movie that's based on true events. So it's like, yeah, so someone else the template's there for anyone to do this. And, well, continue your thought, but I'm going to shake the nation with this.
Well, I didn't find it necessarily, I mean, it's directed well, but there was no real specific artistic vision behind it that I said, oh, that's why this.
Only Marty.
Yeah. But I kind of find that for Spielberg and Marty in general, but I don't know. I know that Marty is sort of obsessed with a sort of toxic male protagonist.
Right.
Main character who is actually a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not justifying it. I'm showing how badly society is messed up. Whatever. I don't know. But this movie, I guess, kind of plays with that in that I don't know.
But then people don't get it. It's like Wolf of Wall Street, where like people thought, oh, you're
romanticizing
this guy, or there were guys that were like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Where can I get Quaaludes? And it's like they don't exist anymore. You're like, what do
Right.
you mean they don't exist anymore?
Right.
So then you're like going to these like websites you wouldn't normally go to, trying to like, can I try Quaaludes? You know, you're getting really into
Check yes or no.
But it's like people then it's like we celebrate this guy and like I get what he's doing, but then people don't get it.
Right.
And then it's like, why do you think you have to always root for the lead characters?
Right. Like from the beginning.
Yeah, the point is to show that he's living an awesome, crazy life. But like he's a womanizer. It's like all this. He's living free of any sort of consequence. But it's not a you should do this.
Right. I think there's also so
that's Wolf of Wall Street that you watch.
Yeah. Killers of the Flower Moon, probably an hour and a half too long. Strangely, what I would think the movie I wanted to see, which I thought because of all of the hype going into this of Lily Gladstone's performance, the movie I thought I was going to be watching based on that was about this strong, silent, stoic woman standing up for her people. No.
She's sick in bed.
And basically, and even the part where she goes to Washington, the whole movie plays out in this long, drawn out way, and I like the movie but it's annoying to me. And then in a like 2-minute montage, they show her going to Washington, talking to whoever the president is.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, lady.
Yeah. And then she goes back. I think that right there is more interesting than a lot of what we see. And I know that's the point. We're telling the story of these white men who came in a large way, and then the story is being told by Marty the white man when we cut out to the radio show and he's playing the character and looking down the barrel saying, I made the movie. I'm telling the story. See? Isn't that so crazy?
Bang, there's a gun, goes off. You find yourself looking in the middle of a door, okay? You hear the doorbell ring. Bring! The doorbell rings, and that's the Ajax man. Just kidding. And you're just like...
And then Marty comes out and whatever. But all that is to say, I think people are saying Lily Gladstone has to win the Oscar. And I think they
didn't see the movie.
I've seen interviews with her. I've seen speeches she's given. I'm not saying she's a bad actor. I'm saying this performance required nothing of her.
Right. It was sort of like when I think Leonardo DiCaprio was up for Best Actor for The Revenant. And that was a great movie, but like, I don't know, quarter of the way through, he gets attacked by a bear, and the rest of it's him laying on like they're just carrying him through the woods, and he's like, So it's like, what do you, him? Like, I get acting, but when you think about how much other people are doing in their stuff, it's like you're laying there acting like you're sick.
And I know
I'd love to do that. I do it every day.
I know there's more to acting than being as sort of loud and quiet, and the sort of what you think, what like an imbecile would think is a good
imbecile 3000.
What a numbskull would think a good actor is actually not. But
it's the subtleties. But so there's a little something that's a little too subtle.
Am I crazy?
Spritz you with some water, make you look sweaty, and you lay there and go.
But even when she's lucid and normal, she's still like pretty monotone, and like, I know that's her character, but also it's like, but she's not stretching really, because I see her interview and she's like, I just thought that Marty did. Like, she's doing the same thing. She's playing the same character herself. I know people are going to be mad, but I just think there are some really incredible performances. And again, I'm not saying she didn't have an incredible performance. I'm just saying it's not as good as other people. I would not even put her up for any award.
I don't understand I don't understand any of the awards.
Yeah. It's like awards are fake.
Killers of the Flower Moon was also, I think fundamentally wasn't what I thought when there was all this lead up to it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was going to be like this crime mystery, but it's not as usual. Like, they're not gangsters. It's like they're these kind of gangsters, but on this Indian land on this reservation.
Yeah.
That isn't that interesting. But from the very first scene, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, there's no mystery to like,
right.
There's no cover up. You're just watching it happen and watching other people go, who's doing this? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's just that over and over again.
That's why, it
so
felt
it's like, so what is we know what's going on here.
Yeah. Because you have the most.
So why is it 3 hours?
That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, when she goes to Washington and it actually has some sort of agency over and she, in fact, does get, the Fire Marshal Bill to come down to town and say, I'm here to find out about the murders or whatever. And everyone cheers. That's...
What kind of an American are you? He winks at the camera.
To me, that's more compelling.
You know what's
than
funny
the
about that?
2 hours I sat through before it. Go ahead.
The movie originally was going to focus on the man that was Plemons.
That would
and
be a
her
better
going
movie.
there and their side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Leo was going to play Plemons.
Well, I don't like that.
And he said, I don't want to do that because it's too clear cut. Like, he's just a good guy.
Uh-huh.
He's just a good guy sheriff. I want to play a character that's more whatever.
I want to play a bad guy.
Pretty much. I want to play someone that's more interesting.
Yeah.
And so they shifted it, and then Marty's like, hey, you know what would be an nation? We do the whole thing on a reservation. So they switched the whole story to the other side, which makes sense to me to say, you know what? We're focusing on all these white guys that are trying to solve this like Native American problem.
Saving, the white savior.
So they switch it into there, but it's like, but there's nothing really there. Because it's a lot of them going like, I know they're killing us. And it's all of these men that want our money. And they're just like, yeah. And the guys are like, yeah, I wonder who that is. Crazy.
But, and even like the Lily Gladstone's mom is like,
Mama Gladstone
is like, it's your guys' fault. You keep marrying these white guys. And but there's nothing more to it than that. She says that and then she dies and Lily Gladstone becomes sick and does nothing and no one does anything.
But even that, I'm like, why can't that be a mystery that she's getting sick? And then you show me at the end, he's been like poisoning her.
It's weird.
Why do you say you should poison her? And you spend 3 hours watching her be like, I'm getting sicker. And he's like, I know that's crazy because he's got the crazy tooth.
Right.
Like, that is nuts. It's nothing you're getting back. It's just,
keep taking the medicine. Just keep taking the medicine.
and then Bobby's like, you think that amazing?
You giving all the doses.
Well, that's the thing too.
It's like, do that in like, show me that at the end with the song music where it's like,
yeah. Well, they spend about 20 minutes making you think Leo is going to be a good guy, and then 3 hours showing you that he's not.
well, there's the one interesting part at the beginning. He's reading the picture book where it's like learning Native American, whatever. Where are they? I don't remember what reservation
I
they're
don't
on.
remember.
I
Sorry.
apologize. But he's reading the book and he's like, can you spot the wolves in this picture? And you're like, that's the Marty. But then there's not like, I was like, oh, this is, when he says that, I go, well, of course he's talking about the movie. I was like, I guess this is going to be very like, we don't really know who is, like they're telling you at the beginning, keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah. And then,
But then the whole movie is just a big tennis ball that they're putting in front of your face.
well, yeah. Then they show you Robert De Niro in the most evil looking way he's ever looked. With like a monocle and a suit, and he's like,
You know, these Indians, they're actually kind of nice and pretty. Maybe one day you marry one. Maybe one day you do, huh?
say? What do you think? I love Indians. And you're like, I know hey, he said he loves them, but I think he doesn't.
I think he does it. He's got a monocle in and he's got it doing his face.
I love them, though. They're really pretty. Hey, you know what? That way she got a lot of money, but it's not about the money, is it, huh? He's like, no, Uncle, not about the money.
It's just immediate. And yeah, they show them kind of falling in love, but even that seemed like that was this much of the movie, and then this much of it is her in a coma, basically. And she's like, something's happening. He's like, yeah, just keep taking that medicine. I promise I'll do you need to right. Just, yeah, like you said, don't show me that.
Don't show me that. Don't show me that.
At least
no.
Have a little more time of us thinking Leonardo does love his wife, which, I mean, I think he does, even when he's making her sick. That's the sort of, but that's the interesting part. But then we keep cutting.
But he's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, show me him having the struggle.
Yes,
Because he's just doing whatever. He's like,
Yeah.
I love her because she's kind of cute, but my uncle said I need to poison her to death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not showing me a guy that's like torn apart but all the money. And it's like, what'd he get? A new Model T?
Yeah.
Hey, you can have any color you want as long as it's black. Ford, everyone,
Yeah.
something he didn't say. It's probably attributed to like Bill Murray on someone's wallpaper on their computer.
Yeah, Bill
Stupid.
Well,
Anyway,
so do you have anything else?
coffee shop story is really
oh my
quick.
God, really quick. Okay.
I ordered a drink today.
Whoa.
Normally, this is the one I will get if it's a latte. If I have to go to Starbucks, it is the cinnamon something.
Dolce.
I don't know what I said because this is the problem. I order it. I say cinnamon dolce. And then the other way people say it is dulce.
You're right.
Now, I think I said dolce. I'm pretty sure because I used to work at a place that sold this.
Uh-huh.
And the two girls are back there making it. It's the Starbucks deal where you're not sure if they're open or not because they're spraying Windex on everything, you know? And the case is empty and it says they're open for 2 more hours, but they're Windexing all over their hands and they make your drink. And so I order it, and then as they're making it, the girls are talking, and one of them says to the other one, it's actually it's cinnamon dulce. It's cinnamon dolce, but people say dulce. It's cinnamon dolce, but people say cinnamon dulce. And I was like, okay, so she's talking about me, but I don't think I said dulce. And she's saying, now remember this, she's saying, people say cinnamon dolce, but it's actually cinnamon dulce.
Wait.
Okay? And I'm like, but I said cinnamon
Dolce.
but it's actually cinnamon dulce. But I was like, I don't think that's right.
I think you're getting
No.
confused.
This is the problem.
This is the problem.
She said,
You said-
actually cinnamon dulce, but people say dolce. So I'm like, I think I said dolce, but
she thinks
she thinks I said dulce.
so she says to the other squirt in the behind there, she says it's actually cinnamon dolce.
Yes, but people say dulce.
And you think you said cinnamon dolce, which is correct.
Which is correct. So I said dolce, and she's saying people think it's cinnamon dolce, but it's actually dulce. Okay.
Oh, right? It's actually dolce, but people think it's dulce.
Yeah, it's actually dolce. But people think it's dulce. And I'm like, okay, well, people think it's dolce, which is what I said. And she said, but it's actually dulce. So I'm like, this happened to me. And I don't know what happened. People. Oh my God. People. It's. It's Dolce, but people say Dulce.
Say Dulce.
But people say Dulce.
Okay.
Okay? And I go, well, I said Dolce. And so then she makes a drink and she hands it to me, or she just calls out, she goes, small cinnamon Dolce? Which is what I said.
Yeah.
And she told me it's not, she's saying that's not the right way to say it.
Oh.
But then she calls it Dolce. Is that because she thinks that's what but that's not what she thought I said. She thought I said Dulce.
So
I said it right.
You said it right.
Corrected me behind the scenes.
Uh-huh. And then she said it right.
And then she said it right. Stop talking about me.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Well,
That's a good coffee shop story.
hey. You got one?
No, bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.